Hello, I'm NovaSC and I'm going to be commentating this game because I think at the end of this game, I can vaguely remember, I played it today, so it should be fresh in my memory, but my memory's not quite that good. But yeah, I think my opponent went for a SCV ALL in this game. I remember storms going off and shit, so I can imagine that happening. So if it's not, that's going to be, if he didn't do that, that's going to be really embarrassing. But I'm going to commentate this game just to show you how best to deal with it, and I probably don't deal with it as best, like perfectly, so I'll point out things I did wrong as well, hopefully. So it should be an informative experience for everyone involved, including me, who hasn't watched this video yet, haven't watched this replay yet, and might end up finding that my opponent went for a build that he didn't realise. I didn't realise that he did, so we're going to discover together. He's gone for a refinery before barracks. Okay. I'm going for a gateway. 13 gateway. On this map I love going for my oracles because you can place them here. It's very awkward for your opponent to kill it off because it's actually quite a long way by ground. You can see this distance is quite long. I mean there's longer distances that you can proxy, like I think merry-go-round you can proxy quite close to your opponent's main and still be quite a long way by ground, but this is quite a long way by ground still, and it allows you this nice area where you can keep your oracle when it's safe. Round units can't go over here, so you can hide your oracle there, and the second and the third bases are really close, so you can hide here and attack like that. Yeah, it's a really cool map, and the main's like really wide open like this, so you can get in quite easily. It's very hard for your opponent to turret that whole area up. So basically what I'm saying here is oracles are pretty good on this map. I like them. Obviously it's gone wrong quite a few times. Like I haven't read what my opponent's done before, been doing, and they've actually been going for 2 racks. So I send the oracle in. It kills a few units. It doesn't matter because I'm dead, because he's got a bunch of units at my front door. Hopefully it doesn't go quite that way. I've already spoilt it. I know that I've gotten at least storm tech. I've got psionic storm upgrades, so I obviously don't die before 5 minutes. But anything else could happen. Many other things. Sitting up there ready for the pylon. I'm currently in the mood for going for Nexus, then Stalker, then Pylon, then Stargate. The Oracle's sort of delayed. I used to just go Pylon, Stargate, Stalker, then Nexus, and then your Nexus was really late. It makes it really easy to defend, but then even if you kill a bunch of SCVs, you might not be ahead in workers, so it doesn't seems a bit silly. So I tend to go for the Nexus before anything else. Going before the Stalker might be a bit risky. Probably should check the timings on that, see when the fastest a Reaper can walk in is. But yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. He's going for straight for Hellions, so that's what that early gas was for. He has a bit of excess gas, as do I, but I'm going for oracles obviously, so I need excess gas. What is we're going to plan to do with that gas? He's got a tech lab on a barracks, going for concussive shells. Oh, this is an old Wings of Liberty build. I remember people doing this. He went for Hellion Marauder. It's actually really best against Zerg. He could think I'm Zerg. He hasn't scouted my main, but I doubt he thinks that I'm Zerg. This build's actually pretty good against Protoss. We'll see how many workers he actually gets. But workers killed. 2. That's 1 Hellion's worth of workers. 4. So it's 200 minerals for 200 minerals. That paid off fairly well, I guess, for him. I'm going to be shooting that down again. It's going to be close. I'm actually making the Oracle right now and he hasn't scouted it, so that has potential to do quite a lot of damage. He wants at least 8 kills here. He manages to get 10. 11, so they've definitely paid for them. That's a lot of worker kills actually, oh my god. I'm actually ashamed that it dealt that much damage. Wow. Oracle came out. He's making mines. He doesn't suspect the thing though. He doesn't expect this Oracle. And I might get a few kills if I micro properly. Hold position micro. I delay that expansion. I see the mines going down, so I'm going to keep away from them. See the workers coming back, getting a bit of damage in. My opponent's being left with quite a bit of over mins at the moment, so that's not looking nice for him. Whereas my expansion's already down and finished. I really need to be beginning to reassemble that command center. I'm going for a robotics forge. Quite a good well-timed forge. Just after 7 minutes 30, so that's nice. I'm gonna get that +1 upgrade really fast. And I'm getting an observer just in case he goes for some mine shenaniganry. Gonna drop some mines on a mineral line, which are actually really strong at the moment. Starport coming in. So he's getting all the basic infrastructure from Marine Marauder Medevac here, even though he opened Hellions. But I guess it doesn't matter, you needed that reactor anyway for the starport, so that didn't slow him down too much. And he actually killed quite a lot of workers. I didn't have what was required to deal with those, I just had a Stalker and a Mothership Core. Against other process openings, the Hellions might not have been as effective, but against mine, I just got caught red-faced, and I lost a lot of probes there, which wasn't nice. I'm being extra defensive, getting a cannon. I know that he's got, he's going to made a few mines. So I'm getting these 2 cannons, and the cannons are very rarely not going to be of use, because Terrans tend to drop in the mid-game, no matter what they do in the mid-game, in the early game, so actually almost always going to get use out of that, at least 1 cannon. So when you start making more than 1 per base is when you might be going overboard in the precautions there. Unless you know your opponent's going to go for drops, then many cannons per base is actually sort of fine, because drops have the potential to do a hell of a lot of damage. Oracle's still sitting there, waiting to do some more damage. He's killed 6 so far, including a Widow Mine, so he's actually dealt some gas damage, which is pretty cool. And he denied that command center from being constructed, which is nice. Stim coming in from my opponent. And the barracks. Let's use the 4 barracks, researching Stim, yeah, combat shield next. So he's researched them in an weird order, going for the concussive shells first. So I think he was planning to go for some heavy aggression before he saw that Oracle come in, and then decided to go on the defensive with his Marines. I have a post on Canada base, so this incoming drop of 4 Widow Mines shouldn't do too much damage, but they have been buffed recently, so they are going to do quite a bit of damage. Colossus comes in, he really wants to be in position to deal with that, and I just don't see it, I think. I just haven't seen it. I don't know if it might have just... Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Up to 21 kills now. That was another 10 workers died in just that one volley of attacks. I think the attack just might have sneaked around the edges of this observer's vision, so I didn't notice it. Or maybe I might have been macroing over here while that drop came in, and I wasn't paying attention to my minimap, which would have been really embarrassing again. Blink coming in for me. He's going for a +1, so we're getting similar upgrades. I'm going to be slightly ahead. I'm working on 2 now, and I'm ahead because of Chrono Boost mainly. And Chrono Boosting out Colossus, which I need to defend. He's producing a few Vikings just to deal with those Colossus. I would like to see more medevacs before producing Vikings, because the Marine Marauder, against small numbers of like when the meat shields for the Colossus are low, so basically when the supporting army around the Colossus is of a low count, I think I'm explaining this well, then the Marine Marauder can kill the Colossus with a stim quite well, so having medevacs early on seems pretty good. He only has a few medevacs on the map at the moment, so I'm sort of worried about that. If I attacked now, he wouldn't have much healing capabilities to keep his Marauders and Marines alive. Go for another drop, but my 2 cannons shut that down. As soon as I saw that he was going for these drop sort of style, I added some extra cannons on. Here you can see that any unit trying to scoot past my natural here will be shot at by this cannon, so it makes it harder for him to attack multiple bases at the same time. He's putting up quite an army here. With +1, he's got lots of Marauders. He really wants medevacs. He's adding on an extra one here. So that must be only of his 3rd medevac. an attack from me would do a lot of damage here if I had a strong army, but I only have this Colossus, which is only really good in defensive for defensive purposes. So there's no real way of me attacking here. I do have the recall, however. I guess I could go for a poke in to scout for his bases, maybe harass a little bit, and then recall out when the army comes. But other than that, I don't have much chance here. So he's moving in now. He's okay. This is the attack. So he hasn't really pulled up SCVs. He's got 4 SCVs with him, so that's not really going to act as much of a meat shield. His army seems stronger than mine. He's got a lot of minerals worth of army there, plus those SCVs, and I might struggle to take all this on with the army I have here. I've only just expanded. I know that he hasn't taken this base because of this helpful scout here. So I'm just going to allow this base to die, to cancel that off. I almost have Storm coming on him. Added on a few more extra gateways. I want around 7 at least, mining off 2 bases. And Storm's finished, so I'm going to be safe sitting on this base. And it looks like my opponent's all in from here. But he only has a few SCVs in the army, which is really weird. You'd have thought he'd have all the SCVs if he's going to go for this push. And he pumps his army up really nicely, so to kill Colossus, but then I storm him and he dies. So as you can see, having Storm by about 16 minutes ready, in addition to the Colossus, is working out pretty well. I think he attacks with maybe +2? No, +1/+1. See, that wasn't a good attack by him. I have +3 coming on him, making more Colossus, more Stormers. I move out just to force him back, and I go for an expand. I'm not going to attack because I have no guarantee of actually killing him. But I can guarantee, however, that he won't have an army big enough to pressure my third, so I'm going to take that. Adding on a few observers. I lost the Colossus there, so I'm replacing it. Even adding on a 4th one, which I don't usually do. Might have defaulted there, made a mistake. But 4's going to be fine, I think. 3 or 4 Colossus is all you really need. I've seen players make huge numbers of Colossus, but I'm happy with a relatively small number and having some High Templar on there. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, because if he makes too many Vikings, then my army's just going to fall very quickly if I make too many Colossus. Sitting on 2 starports now, so he's going to be pumping out those Vikings really fast, so I'm going to have to rely on those Storms. Does he have a Ghost Academy? He doesn't appear to have a Ghost Academy. No, which is actually, I'd say, a massive mistake for him, because he saw those Storms. The Storms were what beat his army there, not the Colossus. Yet he's devoting a lot to defeating my Colossus here. Maybe he's not good enough to use Ghosts. Ghosts are pretty tough to use, so I guess no real shame in that. I have +3 now, Blink. I don't really want to commit here, but I have seen he's got that 3rd base down there, so I'm going to try and do as much damage to that. If he has too much for me, I'm going to recall out here. But I'm at least even with him now. I've taken this 3rd base. Working on shields now. Now that I've finished my +3 attack. A lot going on for him. He's researching double upgrades now. He's going to be able to catch up with me with that if he survives long enough. I don't have charge, but I do have blink. But I guess charge isn't all that necessary. I have all this area of effect damage. It's looking good. I'm just going to focus that all down. And not overcommit, just going to shut down that base. If I attacked in this area, it's really near his reinforcements, I might not win. Might have to be forced to recall that anyway. Here it's a lot wider. I can get my Colossus away from his Vikings nice and easily. Whereas around here, his Vikings could sit up here, shoot away at my Colossus. I couldn't do much about it really. Though in hindsight, I could have just pushed it in one. I might be being a bit too cautious here. And he's moving in for 2 medevacs to do some sort of pushback so that he can take an expansion. And he made the mistake of not draining their energy at all. And he leaves. So he didn't actually go for a SCV pool. I swear it was an SCV pool, but no. Never mind. This is why I should probably watch the video before I the replay before I do this, but never mind. I just like to commentate a game here. It's quite interesting. So the things that I did wrong. Probably should have been thinking about this while I was doing it. I'm sure I did do things wrong. Maybe I could have got 4 double upgrades when I realised that his army was dead. I could have easily taken an extra forge there, made sure he had no chance of equaling me in upgrades. I moved in with the Oracle just now and then, just to shut down production facilities. Other than that, I tried not to get it killed. Tried to maintain that thing alive. And other than that, play passively as possible. No need to overcommit. So you can see I didn't play that perfectly. My money was quite high, but I knew basically what I was doing. Just I had the right idea. I meant well. I'm like a kid who got his mum a present which wasn't particularly what she was asking for, but he had the right intentions. She didn't want it, but it's the thought that counts. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you later. Goodbye.